Oh, man. I almost forgot how to do all this. I hope I didn't forget anything. I'm way out of practice, and I'm been really under the weather for the last several days since getting back from Vernal, Utah from Phenomicon, which was an exceptional event. I had a great time, and Sheldon had a great time, and my microphone stand is now loose, which is really cool. More things to mess with, so I'm kind of going to be running on fumes in a lot of ways. But man, I'm telling you, I was hit by a truck, like figuratively with this illness, man. It just slammed me. I just got hammered. So I had a fever of 102, and then unfortunately my beautiful black cat passed away, Mr. Anubis, and so I was running 102 fever and digging a grave, and trying to sort through all of it. I mean, it's just been an incredible series of events going on, and horrifying in many ways as well. Obviously, with the recent news, we're all going through a lot. I think we're all kind of shell shocked, just trying to understand and trying to figure this stuff out, because it's an incredibly tragic, hard time, and I don't know. It's I wish I had some sage words, but all I will tell you guys is that if I was to offer you any advice at all, and this is what I'm doing for myself, is just remember the kindness, remember the love, and remember to find the beauty in the days. Kind of like I close every episode. I really do try to embody that in my own life, and certainly now, more than ever, I need to remind myself, because it's easy to get crushed and sad and just weighted down by the sheer volume of things going on. And I mean, what do you do? The hits keep coming, and all we can do is just keep getting up and doing our best. So just remember, love everybody as much as you can. Just remember to be kind to each other and to help each other out, because this is a tough time, and it's a tough thing to try to absorb on so many levels. And so just, I don't know. I hope we find balance again. It's a scary thing. It's a scary thing. And so, but I miss doing the shows, guys, and I'm so sorry I couldn't come back Wednesday or Friday. I tried really hard both days. Sheldon was going to do it with me on Wednesday, as he was here still from the trip to Vernal, but I just didn't have it. I didn't have it. I was blowing up that fever and had just buried my cat, so I just didn't have it in me. So I hope you guys understand, and just know that I always do the best I can to do these shows, because honestly, I love doing them. As you all know, that have been around for a while, I will do everything I can to always do live shows. This is probably the last live show again for another week, though, because I have another conference to try to go to. Unless I'm not feeling, if I don't feel good, there's no way I can make the journey. But I'm prepping to go to the Crossing Realms conference, and that's gonna be a great time. But I'm still in the rebound here, and so I'm going to do my best to keep talking throughout the 2-hour show tonight. I think I can, but I might sound like Darth Vader by the end of this. So please, please be patient with me. No, thank you, Rachel. Rachel says, you can only do 1 hour. That's okay. Well, thank you. That's very sweet. We miss you, but understand about not feeling well. Thank you, Mickey. I appreciate that. And I'm here, honestly, because I love getting together with you guys and doing this. This is a big part of my week. This is not something that I consider like a job or a chore. It's I don't know, it's a blast. I love doing these live shows. I love talking about all this weird stuff with you guys. So when I can't get here, I know that so many of you guys have been with me through thick and thin. So I feel like I'm letting you down if I don't get here. But just understand, if I don't get here, it's just because I can't. It's like I only have so much to give, and I'm telling you, wow. I'm still not quite in the game yet, but I'm going to do the best I can, and we're going to get through this. We've got 2 hours, or as long as I can make it. We'll see which comes first. So, and we got a lot to get to. Obviously, we're going to get to the news. Going to get to the Discord question of the week as well. And as long as I can breathe, anyway. Man, whatever this was, it hit me in the lungs like hard, like, and I've been coughing up things like you wouldn't believe. I don't even know how they got in there, but I'm glad they're coming out, whatever the hell they are. I don't know if it's, I've thought about it. I wonder if it's COVID, but hell, I don't know. I mean, you can get those little home tests and stuff, but they're about 50% accurate. So you're kind of rolling the dice anyway. And if it is, there's not much you can do. You just got to get through it. So I'm just getting through it. I'm on the good end of it though, for the record. So, thank you, Maggie. And thank you, Kirsten. I saw you both remembered. Hold on, I got a cough. There we go. I've coughed. All right, so I got some news articles pulled up. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into the Discord question of the week. We're going to get into some what the hell is that, and then some cryptid corner, and we'll see what we're going to do here tonight. I was going to have Dave Scott on with me tonight, but he had other things come up, so he couldn't make it, and so it's just you and me and a whole lot of the weird and wonderful world of the paranormal. So we're going to get to that now. Hello, Elaine. Thank you for remembering. Whew. I'm just looking at myself. I look kind of pale. Do I look more pale? I think my color's coming back, though. You should have seen me 3 days ago. Oh, my God. I look like a corpse with a light pulse. I'm not sure what that looks like, but that's what I felt like. I literally felt like I was just about to pass out several times. Oil of oregano capsules will break that lung stuff up. Where do I get those? Where do you get oil of oregano capsules? I don't even know. But if I can find them, I'll get them. Gifted 5 memberships, T-Bone, rolling. God bless you, T-Bone. Throwing out the memberships. Hello, Yoshua. Hello, Annie. Hello, Elaine. Hello, Wizard. Hello, Rachel. Who got the gifts? Let's see. T-Bone rolled out 5 memberships. For Cat Doherty got one. John LaBella got one. Blue Cruz got one. And Timothman. Sorry. I'm not sure where the inflection should go, so I'm throwing it all over the place there. And Joseph Crow got one. So thank you, T-Bone, for rolling it out. Congratulations to all 5 of you. You are now 1 month honorary members of the channel. If you love it, you can continue. If not, thanks for giving it a whirl. Special thanks to T-Bone for making it happen. Thank you, brother. I really appreciate it. So, yeah, I don't know. Hi, Leg Diamond. Good to see you. From Germany. Got the Germany in the house. Good to see you guys. Michael Driscoll, Father Mike. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Yeah, so I'm really, really going to be raspy, but let's see what's going on. Get to the news, and I'm going to take a drink of something. I should have had like a screwball or something. That would have cleared out the pipes, I bet. But we'll see how long my voice holds up. We'll keep going until I can't go anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the news. Let me try this. It's time for the news. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Paranormal Portal News Desk. This is where all the magic happens, or at least some of the magic. Hello, Eduardo000 over on Twitch. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in, checking out the show. God bless you. Appreciate it. Mary Jim Reeves says a hot toddy will help. Yeah, I probably would. I just don't have any hot toddies. I think I might have some bourbon somewhere. I don't know. I just don't drink much, so that's why when I found Screwball, I was like, ooh. This could get me in trouble, but that's why I don't buy it too much, because it could get me in trouble. I'll be Mr. Screwball addict here. All right, so this is the news. We're going to dive into a few articles of hopefully thrashing wild paranormal entertainment, but sometimes the news is not really paranormal related. Sometimes it's just interesting or informative or entertaining. So hopefully you find that the news is valuable to you in that way. It's called the Paranormal Portal News because it's the Paranormal Portal, but it's not always paranormal. Throughout the course of the show, I utilize a lot of different sites. Please, guys, don't forget to visit these sites and give them your love. These sites are exceptionally well done, and they've given us so much to work with here on the shows with some incredible information, amazing articles, thought-provoking ideas. So please support these sites. They are exceptional. And the site we're going to start out with is one we start out with every news with. I don't know why this thing keeps popping up. I got this antivirus program that thinks it needs to spam me all the time. But here we go. The first one we're going to deal with, let me minimize this. I kind of forgot that. I got to make things smaller, shrink things up. There we go. The first site we're going to be utilizing is an incredible site. It's called unexplained-mysteries.com. And this has been an exceptional resource that I've been utilizing for the news for a while now. And first and foremost, the first article we're going to get into, this is one you guys have probably already heard about, unless you've been living under a rock. But if you're into the Bigfoot world, you heard this news. This is a crushing blow to all of us. This is another one of those in the series of hits that keeps coming. And this was the unfortunate passing of an icon in the Bigfoot community. And I'm speaking, of course, of Dr. Jeff Meldrum, who was an acquaintance of mine. I can't say I was friends with him. I would love to have become his friend, but I talked to him several times. I've interviewed him and been at several conferences with him. I love the guy. He was just amazing. Just a kind, warm, wonderful person. Well, he passed away. Man, I don't know how long my voice is going to work, but I'm going to keep going until it quits. Here we go. This is the first article. Anthropologist, Bigfoot researcher Jeff Meldrum passed away, age 67. Man, that's just too young. And if you don't know who this guy is, get to know who he is, because he is an actual professor of anthropology at Idaho State University and was a big proponent in the potential of Sasquatch to be a living organism in our world. So, if you're not familiar with him, I think we all owe him a debt of gratitude. Him and John Bindernagel. There's several others, but there's a few people that are professionals, scientists that put themselves out there, and Jeff Meldrum is certainly one of them. And he did a lot to further the idea that this is a very real terrestrial creature that's running around in our world. And his work on this has been incredible. So let's check out the article. Meldrum was an expert on primate movement and foot morphology, skills that he applied to the Bigfoot mystery. Born in 1958, Jeff Meldrum was a professor of anatomy and anthropology at the Department of Biological Sciences at Idaho State University, and is perhaps best known for his many contributions to the Bigfoot phenomena, about which he authored the book Sasquatch, Legend Meets Science in 2006. Excellent book, by the way. If you guys don't have it, go get a copy of that book. It's incredible. Unlike many Bigfoot researchers, he was able to use his knowledge of anthropology to offer an analytical approach to the study of alleged Bigfoot footprints, determining how such a creature might move. Throughout his life, he believed that Bigfoot is indeed a real creature and added an element of authenticity to the field thanks to his academic background. It is with profound sadness that the Meldrum family shares that Dr. Meldrum has passed following a battle with brain cancer. His widow wrote on Facebook September 11th. The illness was brief, but he passed with his family at his side. He loved teaching and researching Bigfoot, but he was a husband and father first. I'm so grateful to have shared the last 17 years of my life with him. He was a force of nature. Please respect our privacy in our time of grief. And what a horrible loss to all of us, but what an amazing gift that he gave us while he could. And I know there was some really weird schools of thought out there about Dr. Meldrum. I'd heard several through the years, like he's a government plant or something. That couldn't have been further from the truth. The guy was the most sincere, down-to-earth guy and incredibly knowledgeable and made everybody feel important. Just an incredible guy. Man, it's going to be a hard 2 hours. I don't know. I'll go as long as I can. I don't know. Jeez. I'll have to get through a few things. So that's a sad, sad story, right? Maybe I shouldn't talk so loud. Maybe I should talk softer. Is this okay? Trying to do the moody. I'll do a Barry White here for you. No, I don't know. It's going to be a raspy voice. This is literally the most I've spoken several days. So I've been keeping it to short sentences. And breathing. Breathing's another challenge. So that's very sad, and God bless the man. I just really appreciate his gift. And I mean, the guy went out on a wire for all of the Bigfoot community. Because, in his line of work, it's largely professional suicide. And the hits he took professionally. I talked with a coworker of his when I was at a conference in Pocatello. He's a fellow professor with Dr. Meldrum. And he told me so much of the abuse Jeff Meldrum took for putting himself out there about this Bigfoot stuff. But the man didn't waver. He was truly a man of impeccable character. Like, he was willing to stand for what he believed in. And God bless him for that. So, I don't know. It's a tough loss, but thank God for what he did give us. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't feel real good, but I'm feeling a lot better than I was, trust me. I literally haven't been awake for this long either for days. So, I've slept the last several days away. There you go. That's the first news article. Dr. Meldrum. Yeah, he's going to be missed. That's a tough one. Sorry. Yeah, they do. You're right, Benno. I keep hoping I'm going to cough some up and it's going to sound better. Thank you, Flip Dizzies. Thank you. Yeah, he was super nice. You're right, Karen. This is one of those nights where I could have used a co-host, actually, but I was like, well, things come up. It would have been nice if Dave was here, but it would have been nice that he could have talked some of it. So, yeah, cancer does suck, yeah. I just got a new Cancer Sucks at a car show I went to today. What is a new Cancer Sucks? What is that? Is that a bumper sticker? Or what do you mean? I don't know what that means, but it certainly does. I can't wait till they cure that. That'd be great. All cancer cured. That'd be awesome. Sorry. Oh, it's your passion. Like me with my art. Amen, Jose. I thought Bigfoot's big. Oh, yeah, it is. It is, Vince. I got it here in the studio, too. His little handbook Jeff Meldrum put together is great. I got that. What a cool thing. That was given to me by a friend of mine. That was a very cool gift. All right, so that's the first article. This sounds so bad. I'm so sorry. I sound like I'm like somebody went after my throat with a chainsaw. It doesn't hurt. My throat doesn't hurt, so it's not like that. It's just been, so congested for so long. So it's not painful to talk. So I hope you guys aren't thinking that. It's just raspy. It's just horrible. All right, let's go to the next one because there's always more. If I can get that one. Oh, here we go. This one you might have heard of. This has been kind of all the scuttlebutt lately. Seems like a lot of things in the paranormal are changing hands. I know that comedian Matt Rife and Elton, whatever his last name is, just bought the Conjuring, or no, the Warren Museum, and they're caretakers now for 10 years of all of the artifacts in there. And now this comes up. Man, I'm sounding so terrible. I'm so sorry. All right, here it is from unexplained-mysteries.com. Real life conjuring house to go up for auction this Halloween. There you go. There it is. The Conjuring House. It looks just like a little rambler, doesn't it? It's hard to believe that this house has all of this hype around it when it's just that. What the hell am I showing you? Whoops, I'm not showing you the right thing. There we go. What am I not? What is this? Oh, I know what this is. Sorry. I just realized that I didn't have that off. There we go. Sorry. Yeah, that's the Conjuring house. You guys ever seen it before? You may have seen pictures. But it's hard to believe it's such a little dinky thing. But I'll bet you it'll go for $1.5 million. Just this little scrubby house. But there it is. The infamous farmhouse and the activity that occurred there inspired the Conjuring movie franchise. For the third time since 2019, the remote Rhode Island farmhouse, which was the scene of a notorious real-life haunting that plagued the Perron family for years, is about to go up for sale. The story goes that a witch had cursed the property, dooming anyone that lived there. The house has changed hands several times over the years, with the Heinzen family buying it in 2019, and then just 2 years later, a developer taking it over for the intention of opening it to the public. It's now set to be sold yet again at auction that will take place on October 31st. This antique farmhouse has become famous for historical paranormal sightings. I'm so sorry, I sound horrible. Excuse me, I'm sorry. And activity, the listing states. So there you go. Anybody got any extra cash? Anybody got a hankering for owning the Conjuring house? That's a keeper, I'm telling you. I wonder who'll buy it. Wonder who'll end up with this one. Zach Baggins, maybe? I don't know. It's interesting. It helps to blow your nose. Well, it's not in my nose. It's down here. It's down in my throat. Because with this illness, it went right to my lungs. So it's like instantly everything was packed. So this is the improved version, believe it or not. I'm going to save your voice for Wednesday. Oh, what's Wednesday? I'm not actually speaking at that conference, at the Crossing Realms conference. So I don't have to speak. I'm just got to show up there and shake hands. So anyway, that's the Conjuring house. It's going to be for sale, or when did they say, on Halloween? So if anybody's got some extra cash they don't need and wants to buy some part of paranormal history, there you go. There you go. All right, that's that article. Let's go back here. God, I don't know what I'm going to do for the rest of the show. I can't believe my voice went so bad so quick. Jeez. It's going to be a long show. I shouldn't even have probably tried, but I had to try. Because this is actually the last show that I'm going to be able to do before going to the conference. Also, post-concert voice. Yeah, hit the like button for my voice. All right, I got one more. I think everybody saw this. Everybody saw the video that was released by Congress or at the Congress hearing showing that, what was a Hellfire missile basically bouncing off of a UFO. I don't know. It's crazy. I've been working hard on your surprise, Brent. I hope you make it. Yeah, I hope I make it too. I'm planning on being there. It's just, I sound like absolute garbage right now. I mean, still several days away, so I'm sure it'll be fine. Ghost Dragon ZW's in the house. Who else is here? Barbara Moore and Car Juice over on Rumble. Good to see ya. Barbara says my throat hurts now. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's how it starts. I don't think mine actually ever hurt. My throat never hurt, but it just came with a boom. Like I was so cold at Phenomicon, and then I just got home, and after driving 14 hours, I was just done. And that was it. That's what I've just been crashed for the last several days. I don't know. Is it bothering you that I'm trying to do a show sounding like this? You guys let me know. I don't want to be irritating. Just let me know in the chat. Is it bothering you if I try to do a show? Sheldon is okay? Yeah, Sheldon's fine. He's fine. He's back in Minnesota again. But let me know. Does this bother you? Moline T? Yeah. Moline would have been good. Nope, you're good. Okay, thanks. All right. I just don't know if the sound of my voice is like irritating. Because that's not what I'm going for either. Oh, you're not irritating, but I feel bad for you. Oh, that's sweet. I'm okay. It doesn't hurt. It's just I'm just trying to talk and breathe, and it's a very aerobic exercise for me right now. But let's check out this one. I'm sure you guys have heard of this, but we'll go over it anyway. From unexplained-mysteries.com, video of missile bouncing off a UFO shown at congressional hearing. Did you guys see this? Did you guys catch this clip? It's kind of bizarre. It said Tuesday's hearing also saw multiple witnesses speak out about the topic of UFOs and UFO disclosure. During the hearing on September 9th, U.S. Representative Eric Burleson presented what might be the most significant new piece of UFO footage in some time. A clip recorded from a drone showing a strange orb being tracked off the coast of Yemen on October 30th, 2024. At one point in the footage, another drone fires a Hellfire missile. Sorry. At the object, which can then be seen bouncing off of it, leaving the UFO to continue on the same trajectory above the water. The video is a bit more impressive than some of the previous U.S. government UFO videos we've seen in recent years, as the object is a lot clearer, especially when the camera zooms out. Exactly what the object is and how it survived the strike remains unclear. Yeah, that's too bad. I mean, it's good they didn't shoot it down, because I don't know. I'm really thinking that's a bad idea. If some intelligence is here and it has capabilities far beyond ours, what the hell are we lobbing missiles at it for? I mean, that's like throwing sticks at a commando. How do you think that's going to end up? Yeah, I got the Jack Palance sound. Thanks, Thomas. Yeah, it's just not a good move to throw missiles at things we don't even understand. It's kind of that old same idea of like, hey, what the hell's that? I don't know. Let's shoot it and find out. It's like we don't know what it is. What if you shoot it and it starts a thermonuclear reaction? You don't know. I don't understand that. Who the hell are these people? Here's the video in case you haven't seen it. And this will allow me not to talk for a second. Let's check it out. From Video from Space YouTube channel with over 2 million subscribers. Wow, good job. Go check out their channel, but here's the video.
I'm not jumped to the conclusion that I believe that there are, aliens coming from another planet. But I'm open to that. And I think that it's our responsibility, especially when we're seeing that we have a government that is actively blocking information from us. Just last night, I tried to get an amendment onto the National Defense Authorization Act that fit in the germaneness of that bill to have.
Oh my God, there's 10 minutes of this video. Where's the actual footage? Is this it? There we go.
MQ-9 drone tracking an orb, or this object, off the coast of Yemen. You'll see that another MQ-9 launched a Hellfire missile. You cannot see that drone. And so I'm not going to explain it to you. You'll see exactly what it does.
Well, they got a lot of extra footage here. So it made it wobble, but now they're going to zoom out a little bit, and there it is. Looks like
This
it's
is
just
when
fine.
it zoomed out. So you can still see it traveling.
Looks like it's just fine, even though that missile hit it.
So, Mr. Knapp, do you have you heard about?
So I'm going to put this link in the chat if any of you guys haven't seen it. You can check it out and hear more of the discussions around this video. But I think it's absolutely fascinating. I've heard the whole balloon thing too. I don't know. I don't think in the history of balloons there's ever been a balloon manufactured or created that could withstand a Hellfire missile. So I'm not buying the balloon thing at all. I don't know what it is, but I feel pretty confident in saying what it isn't, and that's a balloon. I don't think it's a balloon. Now, I don't pretend to know what it is, but whatever it is, again, it's another one of those situations where there's no clear propulsion method being demonstrated. It's moving, and it essentially ate a Hellfire missile, crumpled it on it. It might have knocked it around, but then it just keeps going. So I don't think we can make things that fly that can just shrug off a Hellfire missile. So it sounds to me like whoever made that is way ahead of us. But I don't know. It is perplexing. You're right. The old balloon theory. Yep. I've heard of that one too. It is confusing. I don't know. If a missile called Hellfire can't take out a balloon, then they should reconsider the name Hellfire. Good point, Shellbell. Yeah, absolutely. So what happened though? I don't know. You know what is interesting though, is that there is a point where that comes, and I'm trying to get to where the missile comes, because it looks like the background is moving differently than I would expect, but it looks like the missile is moving differently than what I would expect too. I'm just going frame by frame here. We got a lot of extra frames. There it comes. But look at how that's moving. Is it just me, or doesn't it seem like the way that thing is coming, and you can see a vapor trail going like this. But if it was tracking this motion, wouldn't the vapor trail from the missile be going like this as it was making up that angle? But it's going like this, which is odd to me. I don't understand that, because it's like a diagonal vapor trail, unless that's just an artifact of being so zoomed in. Maybe that's not a vapor trail at all, but I would expect it to come like this as it was intercepting, not from the side, and yet gliding sideways. You know what I mean? Am I making sense here? Look at that trajectory. It's cutting across as the waves are going from, lower left to upper right in the background. But the trajectory of that missile seems kind of bizarre to me. Is it just me? I don't know. That just seems weird. I don't understand that trajectory, because I would think the missile would be coming more like this as it pursued. But I don't know. Yeah, it is infrared. You're right. This is infrared. So maybe that's what we're just seeing. And maybe the missile is indeed going like this. It just seems odd. But it hits the object here. Boom. And you can see it just breaks up. It's like it wasn't even armed or something. And then continues this way. But some of it, you see the thing kind of start to wobble and, move different areas. And then other little pieces seem to have kind of come from it. I don't know. It is very peculiar. But all those pieces are keeping up with it too. So I don't know what you guys make of that, but that's Very interesting. I know nothing about firing missiles, so I've got nothing. Well, fair enough. I haven't fired many missiles either. I haven't fired any, but it does seem curious. But again, it could just be an artifact of being, an infrared. So, yeah, inertia would account for some of it, but it looks like it's actually keeping up with it. If you go back, see those pieces they're tracking pretty well with that object. If it was inertia, then the drag from that airspeed would certainly make them fall away pretty quickly, I would think. But they don't. They seem to be. I'm going reverse now, but it rolls a few times, and those pieces are actually staying with it. So I don't know. It's very crazy. Just some stuff to think about. And I don't know. I'm not meaning to cast doubt on the footage. It's just an anomaly to me. It's like, wow, why does it look like that? Anyway, interesting stuff. I don't know what speed it was going. I don't know what they tracked it at. I don't know what altitude. There's so much we don't know. But it looks like it shrugged off a Hellfire missile. So that, to me, is out of the balloon category. Might just be me, though. All right. In light of that segment, I guess that's going to wrap it up for the news. Let's get back to the rest of the show and see how that goes. There we go. That was the news. Hopefully you found that at least mildly entertaining. I saw Unknown come in and go, what's wrong with Brent's voice? Brent has been very sick, but he couldn't stay away from you guys forever. Couldn't do it, but I'm here with you tonight. But I don't really feel that great yet. Feeling better, though. Feeling better, but not great. So do a witch story, Brent. And then there was a witch. I could do a lot of different stories tonight. Tuck yourselves in, folks. It's time for the Paranormal Portal. I don't know. I sound like I've been chewing gravel all afternoon. So I do apologize for my voice. It's just, that's as good as it's going to get now. And it's probably going to get worse before the end of the show. So bear with me, though. I'll give you all of me that I can. You know what time it is, though? More demon. If you only knew the power of the dark side. Kind of Darth Vader. A real breathy Darth Vader. All right, this kind of sounded like Tex. Y'all better stick a heel into that spur. I'll do my best Tex Wesson. When he's tired, he gets really deep. I can't really do too deep, though. It just sounds horrible. I do apologize for my voice. I don't really feel as bad as my voice probably sounds. So if that's any consolation, it's just that I hope it's not irritating you guys for me to sound like this. The Unknown would rather I sounded like this, apparently. Sounds great. Thank you, Unknown. I appreciate it. Great show, Brent. Hope you're not sick. No, I've been sick, Lisa. I'm actually on the mend. This is the improved version of me right now. Believe it or not. Happy anniversary, Scooby-Doo. Is it Scooby-Doo's anniversary? Hello, Linda. Good to see you. More throaty for Tex. That's right. Stick a spur in it, boys. I can almost do a Tex now. I should probably re-record that. That's hilarious. I don't know. I love those little figures of speech that Tex throws out there, like sticking a spur in it. That cracks me up, boys and ladies. All right, let's get to the next segment of the show, which is bound to be a doozy, because this is the question of the week. And by God, it's time for the question of the week. Is this the one? Yeah, this is the one. It is, right? Maybe not. Is it? Oh, yeah, this is the one. This is the one because I had to miss because of Phenomenon last. That's right. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the next part of the show. This is not it. Not this one. Not this one. It's this one. There we go. This is the question of the week, ladies and gentlemen, and this is where we look at our Discord server, and you guys are given an opportunity to weigh in on a paranormal question. Again, this has been championed by our very own Chucky Danger. He does a hell of a job. Thank you, Chucky. If you're out there listening, is Chucky here? I don't think I've seen him yet. But he puts the question together, and it's open to all of you guys on Discord. Thank you, Rachel, for putting the link in the chat. That is the link that Rachel posted in the chat. You see it on your screen, and you can join. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. And it gives us an opportunity to see what you guys think about this stuff. So, Chucky Dangers, yeah, I'm right here. Chucky's here and accounted for. You are welcome to call in and and read this for me. I'll get through it. All right, here we go. This is the question of the week, folks, and Chucky always does an amazing job of putting these questions together. So, tonight's question of the week. As cryptid sightings go, Dogman has to be one of the most terrifying and perplexing evidence of the Dogman. What? Has to be one of the most terrifying and perplexing. Evidence of the Dogman seems to be scarce comparatively to Sasquatch. Why do you think it's so hard to collect prints or any other kinds of evidence of Dogman? Will we get a video that showcases the creature as well as the Patterson-Gimlin film does for Sasquatch? Great question. That is a good question. I've wondered that myself. There's plenty of people, including Vic Cundiff, that believes that Dogmen are just as plentiful as Sasquatch. I don't know what merit he bases that on. Maybe it's just the body of reports he gets. But I guess, they are reported everywhere. However, there is a much bigger lack of evidence when it comes to Dogman. The prints are very few and far between. Whereas, like even Dr. Meldrum had hundreds of Bigfoot cast prints that were either he collected or were sent to him. But I haven't heard that same, even comparative body of evidence for a Dogman. Now, I've heard some people like Vic say that a Dogman print would be like the size of a dinner plate. And that's an enormous print. But I've never seen an example of that. Like, I've got a Bigfoot footprint here that I bought from Cliff Barrickman. And it's a brilliant print from the Gray Harbor incident in Washington State. But I can't say I've ever seen a Dogman print. And that is curious. So, let's see. Hold on. All right. My microphone is bugging me. There we go. All right, let's see what this says. What you guys said. Oh, why am I in streamer mode? I hate this. ZX81V2 put up a picture of St. Christopher. And maybe you didn't know this, but St. Christopher is a saint in the Catholic Church and is often regarded as the dog-headed saint. Many descriptions of him seem to depict him as some sort of human canine, or a human with canid features. Now, I don't know that the cynocephaly and the Dogman are one and the same, because the cynocephaly, by all accounts, while they were historically referenced in ancient cultures of these dog-headed people, they did seem to be functioning very much as a society, much like other tribes of the time. So I don't know that the dogmen today are offshoots of that, because they don't seem to have the same level of functionality, like living alongside of other human tribes, which the cynocephaly did. So what happened? If they are the same, what happened? I don't know. It is curious, though. All right, so let's see what else is coming up here. And another St. Christopher, yep. Michelle Wolfong comes in first. It says, I believe Dogman exists in another realm, possibly why there's no video evidence. I do believe people have seen and experienced the Dogman. Is it just certain people that can see and experience Dogman or Bigfoot, or does Dogman choose who can see and have the experience? We need more research and answers. Great points. Could be. It doesn't actually exist solely in this level. That's a fascinating point. Next up comes Gas Man. That was a good cough. Kind of started out good. I say no to the evidence. Unfortunately, I'm not a believer of the believer group when it comes to Dogman. While I fully acknowledge that there is most likely other realms for Dogmen to exist and possibly enter our realm, a physical being here in our world can't say that I believe that. Fair enough. I can't speak to, to oppose that. That makes sense to me in some ways. Oh man, I'm just a stuffy mess. I think I got to take my medicine here so I can breathe out of my nose again. My nose is progressively filling up as I'm talking here, so hope you don't mind if I take a little break and do this. I guess I should have done it before the show, but I didn't know this would be becoming an issue. But it is actively and rapidly becoming an issue. I think I'm really getting better, though, folks, just for the record. I know it probably doesn't sound like it, but literally I slept for the last several days, so this is the most awake I've been since getting home from Vernal on Sunday. All right. Ugh. I hate these packaging. These little blister packs where you got to peel the back end of them. Ugh. All right. Time for some decongestant. There we go. Here's to my health. All right. So that was a good point. Ace comes in next. Says, my money's on the interdimensional or extraterrestrial. There are some that think it's a government-made organism, but there have been reports of humanoid canines throughout history. And I am not counting the dog-headed people pictured above. That's the cynocephaly. Well, that's not necessarily cynocephaly, but maybe. And I'm not counting the dog-headed. They were symbolic of people who were beastly because they did not follow Christ, if I remember. And the ones depicted holding religious icons are to show proof that anyone can convert. That was what I know from memory. I'm talking about things thought of as werewolves in France, for example. People are experiencing something. What exactly? I'm not sure. I've heard accounts where some have had experiences finding metal-walled rooms that have shackles and scratches on the walls. The Keith Williams, London, Ohio, werewolf in reference. I've heard many accounts of paw prints, even hair, and unknown canine DNA found. If this is a physical thing that lives in our world, then there is a body in a ghost lineage of evolution. If not, this is an extraterrestrial or something that moves between dimensions, maybe even time-space distortion, as I feel that could explain it as well. Yeah, I mean, all of those are fair game. I can't speak either for or against them, and that's the beauty of the question of the week. There's no wrong answers. There's just ideas. And I love when you guys share your ideas, so very cool. Glad to see you here, Brent. Oh, thank you, Kelly. I'm glad to be here, and yeah, I'm sorry about Anubis too. That really hurts. That was a tough one. Very good thoughts though. Thank you. Ace put up a picture of apparently a bunch of dog-like wolf people. Oh, Discord, I hate when you do this. Does it all the time. So, very cool picture, Ace. Thank you. Ace was the one that put that other... There we go. All right, Rachel 101. I think Dogman was brought here from another plane of existence. They're flesh and blood, but supernatural beings, too. They were once soldiers and guardians, but with the passage of time, that task has ended. Now they're here. They know what they are. We can only suspect and come to some theoretical conclusions. They might remember in the past that they had a job to do, protecting the lands. One very effective way is to be extremely scary. That might be the reason the witnesses say the Dogman gets satisfied or joy from the terror that the witnesses experience. They may have abilities to become formless in their former role as guardians, only taking physical shape when it's to their own advantage. Yeah, what if that? I mean, it's kind of like the old quantum Bigfoot idea. I can appreciate the idea. I just can't conceptualize it. I can't wrap my head around something that can be absolutely tangible and physical, interact, eat, and physically interact in our environment, and then also something else. I mean, that's tough to wrap your head around. Sorry, I'm sniffly. Sharon says what Rachel said. That's like the Christmas lights. That's one of my favorite Christmas memes, is where there's this one beautiful ornate house and it's just all decked out with lights, and then some idiot with a string of lights wrote ditto with an arrow pointing at that house. This was the question of the week equivalent to that, Sharon. That's awesome. Then we only got one more. This is from John T. There was a dog-headed saint. Yeah, that's Saint Christopher, but I don't know. These doggies are that ilk, but more on the spiritual Anubis kind. I believe most are of evil demonic nature. Sorry, my eyes are burning. Perfect. Living on the fear of the people. They say government bred some type of these critters, so they have to be of blood and flesh. And they also, I say they release them into the federal lands during CV shutdown, hence the sightings of recent. Why? There are some vids and footprints taken, but these things are being watched by government, so hush hush. And of course, the dimensional ones that jump back and forth. It's amazing. The word Jesus scares the hell out of them. Interesting. So, not a lot of participation on this one, but some good thoughts all the same. You guys just please feel free to weigh in on this. Chucky puts these questions up every week, guys. And it makes for a real robust session when you guys take the time and let me know what you think. And don't be worried about, well, I might sound like an idiot. We're all idiots when it comes to this stuff because nobody knows. So don't be afraid to throw your ideas out there. It's nothing wrong with it. And it just adds more ideas to the pile. So, again, it's one of my favorite segments of the show because you guys have come up with ideas that I never would have thought of. And you've helped me in so many ways by just taking the time and weighing in with your thoughts. So please don't be shy to weigh in on the question of the week, guys. It's an amazing segment, and you guys are brilliant, honestly. So keep it up. Keep it up. All right. Eric the Wandering Purple Hobbit is weighing in quick, so I'll hold off for a second. if he writes ditto. Let's see what Eric says as he's typing away. You see it on the bottom there. I didn't get to it. I was vegetating all week. Well, Karen, you've had a big week. I don't sound because I am. What does that mean? Eric, Dogman is a curiosity indeed. What do you think, Brent? I think that I'll tell you, one of the most interesting videos I've seen of the Dogman, and I've seen a ton of them. Most of them are real sketchy and look hoaxy. But the one from Florida where that guy, kind of filmed this cloudy creature walking by his street lamp behind his house, I thought was absolutely fascinating, because you can see articulating joints as this cloud form moves. And that was the first time I could look at a dogman and go, ooh, maybe they are something else. I mean, that was the first time I saw something like that. But it was fascinating because you could see the legs bending. You could see the plantigrade or digigrade legs with it's not really backwards knees, but it's just the morphology of their limbs. But it's more like their ankle is really, their foot is extraordinarily long, and the heel is where people think their knees are backwards, but that's actually like the heel, kind of like a dog's leg. They only have the foot pads and then this long extension and to this backward joint, but it's actually like their heel. So this would be more akin to an ankle. Their hip is actually up on the body, on the torso itself. Or the knee is, actually, was what I meant to say. So that was the first time I saw a video that really made me go, wow, I think this is really something. Maybe that really does speak to it. Now, I know that there are some First Nation tribes who have regarded dogmen or similar described creatures as guardians of portals. And that kind of speaks to an interdimensional nature. Again, I don't really understand it. It's hard to wrap my head around, but that video looked very real. And it was recorded on Facebook Live with his phone. So it wasn't like it was staged. It wasn't like it was edited and uploaded later. So I think that was an incredible capture that may very well show us the nature of what dogman is or can be. I think they can be physical. How did they get between that wispy thing and physical? I don't know. But I'm kind of leaning that direction, even though I don't understand what that means or how that could be. So that's my thoughts. All right. I hope that answered your question, Eric. Yeah, it's a great idea. Get me talking more. All right. Well, this has been the question of the week. Let's get back to the rest of the show. I just quick blew my nose while that was going on. That was not pretty, but I think it helped, for the record. I got an eyelash in my eye. There we go. All right. I think I'm doing okay, right? My voice seems to be... I made it an hour. Woo! Yay! Power to the people. I made it an hour. I didn't know if I was going to make it 15 minutes. Linda gifted a membership. God bless you, Linda. Thank you. All right. That was the question of the week. Looks like the Dachshund Master got a free membership for a month. Good job. Thank you, Linda, for making that happen. That's awesome. Very cool. Thank you guys so much for your generosity. You have no idea how much that helps. I mean, it does. It really, really does. So I really appreciate all your generosity and helping to keep me float. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate that, brother. I says, you're doing great, buddy. I'm giving it my all. I'm giving you guys everything I got and a bunch more. But I really do miss doing these shows. So when I can't do them, it really sucks. It really hurts. So it's good to be back with you guys, even though I sound like absolute crap. So hope you can put up with my raspy hamburger voice. Flat Six, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. And Michelle Wolfon, good to see you. Shelley Montgomery, good to see you as well. I'm sorry I didn't do a roll call, but I've been just trying to call it out here and there when I'm seeing it, guys. Just because talking, it doesn't hurt, but it is a labor right now. All right. Now we're going to get to the next segment, which has been a fun segment. I've enjoyed doing this next one. And this is What the Hell Is That? And I don't know about you guys, but I miss doing this one. This is always a kick and interesting to go through things that I find absolutely fascinating. So, are you guys ready? Because it's about time for What the Hell Is That?
What the hell is that?
Exactly. Jose says dogmen might be more aware of their surroundings, so they might be more careful to be seen. True. I mean, just look at it this way. Most people, even after spending a lifetime in the woods, will probably never see a mountain lion. And mountain lions are they're an animal, but they are exceptionally rare to run into. They are very skittish around people generally, unless they're trying to chew on your neck, and then you got other problems. But for the most part, most people that are out in the woods will never see a mountain lion. And we know they're out there, even in areas where they're known to be, because they know how to avoid us. So if you take a mountain lion and you add about, maybe somewhere in the neighborhood of human intelligence, how much harder would it be to find them? With all of that physical prowess, and maybe even more. Maybe they're much more quick, much more agile and lithe and capable of overcoming any kind of obstacles that would be impossible for us. How easy would it be for them to avoid being seen? When I was a kid, I made a game of it in my woods to never be seen by cars. I think I succeeded. Nobody ever honked or anything like they saw me. But it was always my thing. It's like, oh, car's coming, get down, and I would hide. And it's not hard in the wild places to not be seen, because most people aren't really looking for you anyway. So and who goes out in the woods looking for dogmen? Well, maybe some researchers. They're out there curious, but most people aren't even looking for that. And that's why I think a lot of people don't see Bigfoot, is because when we're out in the woods, like say you're out there, you're a hunter. Well, you're looking for things you hunt. Your mind is already pre-programmed, looking for deer. If you're deer hunting, you're looking for deer sign. You're looking for sounds that might be deer. You're looking for anything for that. So you're going out there with a specific search pattern in mind. If you're coon hunting, you're looking up in the trees. You're looking for coons. I mean, every kind of thing that we pursue in the wilds has a specific, method of hunting them, or at least, they have traits that you're looking for. We're not used to looking for 10 feet tall, hairy things that look like trees. We might glance past them 50 times and never even see them, just because it's not registering in our minds. And it takes them to step out on the path in front of you to go. Because we're looking for, sometimes you go out in the woods and you're just kind of open, like, well, whatever I see, I see. You're still probably not expecting to see a 10-foot tall, huge primate. So I think it's very possible we see these things, but we don't see them because they're not registering as what we're looking for. Because we're not expecting to see them. So anyway, I know a lot of animals are smarter than a lot of people. Well, not that I'm ever expecting an animal to change the oil in my car or anything, but it's a different kind of intelligence. But yeah, they're much more adept at living in their environment than we are at visiting it. So, all right, let's get to the what the hell is that? I got some videos pulled up that I think should be fun to dive into as soon as I figure out where the hell my browser is. There it is. All right. This is the first one. This one's been around for a while, but I like this one, and I liked it from the first time I saw it. I was like, you got to be kidding me. That looks like it could be a great capture. And I will tell you, the reaction seems organic. Now, full disclosure, I don't know if it's ever been debunked. I never heard of it being debunked. I never heard that somebody found out, oh, this is just Becky Sue, and she was doing a video for TikTok just around Halloween time. So I think this is legit. It's a gut check kind of thinking, but I think that she actually captured what might be some excellent evidence of a shadow person. And it's creepy. I think it's very creepy. Chances are you guys have already seen it, but if not, you're welcome. And I'm sorry at the same time, because it is creepy. Again, you be the judge. I'm not telling you should believe it, but I'm telling you this is one of the videos that really stood out to me personally as something disturbing. You be the judge, though. Here we go. Oops. That's not what we're doing. So this is coming from Spooky Post Randy. It's not Spooky Post Randy's video, but they posted it on their Facebook page. And I would, encourage you to check out their page because chances are they get a bunch more like this. Not that you should believe everything you see, but maybe there's some other gems in there. So go check it out. Here it is. You guys be the judge.
It's just a peaceful night here. Get ready to go to bed myself. What the fuck is that?
Sorry for the language.
Oh, God, fuck!
Yeah,
it's just a peaceful night here.
Okay, so watch here. That's a head. Even the dog was zoomed in on that. So I think she might have caught something. Look at how quickly it pulls back into the room there. Just boom. It's just a flash and it's gone. I think she actually caught something. And there's this is a little bit clipped because there is footage of her just freaking out and grabbing her dogs and like getting way back. There is a longer version of this, a little bit longer anyway. But I think she caught something. Look at that dog. It's just zoomed in on it. That tail is straight up like, it's probably a very friendly dog. But it's like, oh, who are you? But it's not really wagging, but it kind of wants to. Like, are you a friend? Are you a friend? So I think it's a great capture. And it's creepy. That head is leaned out and then boom, it's just gone. And this is just her panning like she's doing the bedtime routine. Oh, the dogs are all ready and we're going to be getting to bed. And then boom. And her reaction is very, very genuine to me. Now, again, watch it one more time. Boom. There it is. It's gone. Creepy. I will put a link in the chat so you guys can check it out. Yeah, it's not really Hat Man. It looks like it's kind of got like almost like a rock star 80s hair going. I don't know. It's almost like a moppy, bushy hair, but it's creepy as hell. And I'm here to tell you, I would be cleansing the hell out of my house if that was something I saw in my home. That would be it. I'd be calling Father Mike saying, Father Mike, you're going on a trip. You're coming out here. Charge him rent. He'll leave. There is that. There is that. Do you think shadow people are different to Hat Man? I think that, yeah, I think that the term shadow people is probably actually encompasses several potential presences. I don't think that there's just one thing that appears like shadows. I think many things might appear shadowy, but they've garnered the name shadow people because they're humanoid silhouettes that are shadows, like moving shadows. They're very common. I think that sometimes regular presences may appear like shadows. I think that spirits, ghosts, whatever, these spiritual beings or beings we experience in a spiritual manner may be able to choose how they appear. But I do think that there is potentially a thing called shadow people, which a lot of people regard as horrible. I don't know if they are or not, but I've heard a lot of the positions that if you got shadow people, you just got to get out. You can't even cleanse a house with them. I don't know if that's true or not. I find it hard to believe that it's never possible to get something out. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how many things are out there that we experience like ghosts, because these are all pretty blanket terms that we throw at things because we really don't know. But so I hope I'm answering your question. I seen something like that peeking around the corner at me. It didn't hide fast though. It wasn't dark either. Well, that's creepy, all. Oh my God. Hey there, Linda. Okay, I think it's real based on the dog's reaction. I do too. I like this one. I want you guys to vote though. Give me a 1 in the chat. You think that's a real capture or 0? Nothing to see here. What do you think? 1, that was a real capture. I'll let it play some more as we talk. 1, this is a real capture. 0, nope. Okay, yeah, I'm with you guys. I think this is real. I really do. I mean, just a gut check kind of real. It did not creep me out at all. Very cool. That's cool. I mean, I think that's great because, you know, getting creeped out is, it'd be natural, but it's best not to let those things have any kind of dominion in your world if they're showing up. But a real capture of what? Great question, Batman. I don't know. I'm assuming it's some kind of shadow being, but I don't know. It's not completely shadowed, though. You can see like a lightness around the face, where I assume the face would be. But it's like it's not transparent, but it's kind of see-through. But it also looks pretty tall, you know, because it's like it's leaning down out of that doorway, and then it kind of shoots back and up. But I don't know what it is. But the quickness of that motion is so creepy. Not a fake capture. Yeah. I think it's pretty legit. Anybody say no? Barbara said yes over in Rumble. Car Juice, did you have an opinion? Yeah, I think I would too, Cryptical Crossroads. Josh, I think I would too. It's not what I'd want to see in my house. I'd be pretty pissed. Honestly, I'd be pretty upset because it's like, what the hell are you doing here? You don't get to be here. Especially if it's peeking out like that. It's like, you don't have to be creepy about it, for God's sakes. I'd be definitely cleansing. Speak of the devil. There we go. Well, there you go. That's the first one on What the Hell Is That? I don't know. It's kind of a creepy video. I think it's a good capture personally, but you be the judge. Whoops.
What the hell is that?
I actually have more. I just forgot to turn off that stinger. All right, let's go to the next one, which is another fine video. This one is kind of interesting. I don't know. It could be legitimate. It could be fabricated. I don't know. It looks pretty convincing on the face value of it, but you be the judge. Again, this one I'm kind of up in the air in. Could be real? Sure, could be. Could be faked? Sure. So let me know what you guys think. Here we go. The next video up on our thing. This one's coming from Alien Genus Pasado, some Hispanic channel that's hosting alien stuff. And here you go. So Alien Genus Pasado. If anybody speaks Spanish, you might want to go check out their channel. Even if you don't, I'm sure the videos are still kind of cool to look over. But here you go. It's talking about a crop circle. And here's the video. You be the judge. Huh. I mean, it looks pretty convincing, honestly. So all we got is the wind noise. I'm going to mute the wind noise now. You can see it. I think that it's very possible crop circles appear this quickly. The wind aspect of it is, I mean, is it done by wind? I don't necessarily think so. But perhaps there's a wind-like byproduct of crop circles. I don't know. I've seen a video out of England where it looks like it's a calm summer morning and the crops just kind of lay down as these orbs go over. I don't see any wind in that one, but could be AI, sure. Sure could be. Absolutely aggravated. That's not without potential. It is just a gust of wind quick, and then suddenly there's crop circle. So tornado, dust devil, maybe. Could be just a quick touchdown that swirled up some of their grass. I don't know. It's fascinating, whatever it is. And I can't claim to know the missing grass isn't accounted for. Well, mostly crop circles, when they happen, the grass isn't lifted, it's laid down. It's bent. It's laying down. So I don't know where all this extra grass is coming from. that it blows in with, but the fact that, all of that grass isn't piled up there doesn't surprise me. Dust storms are legendary there. Could be. I think genuine crop circles are related to time portals. Maybe. I don't know. Certainly could be, excuse me. But I think it's a cool capture. Voting time, what do you think? 1, you think this is a genuine capture of a crop circle being made? Or 0? Nah, this is some kind of fabrication. What do you think? Let me know in the chats what you guys think. I'm curious, Steph the contractor, wind that strong would usually make the mic peak and snap. Yeah, it would be. I mean, it's a quick gust. So it's not beyond the realm of possibility that that's all the noise you'd get. So a lot of no's. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Fabricated, not a crop circle, 0. Shelly said nope. Okay, Barbara saying nope, not buying it. Fair enough. I mean, it's a clever capture, or fabrication, I guess I could say. I just have never seen one like it. The wind is an anomaly to me, because again, if the other footage I've seen is legit, that didn't really involve wind. It just had orbs going over the field and pressing down the crops. So, but you be the judge. Yeah, I think you guys you've all weighed in on this. Cool. All right, let's go to the last one that I got pulled up for you guys tonight. All right. Oof. Which one is this? I gotta look at what I got here. I'm just watching it quick because I don't remember this one. I pulled it up when I was in my fever as I was prepping for Wednesday's show and then didn't do a show. So I'm trying to remember what I pulled up. I don't see what the ghosty stuff is. This doesn't look like anything. Doesn't look like I grabbed anything. Oh, that's why. I was on the wrong video. That's why. Oh, this one is a good one. I kind of like this one. Again, could be fabrication for sure. Could be legitimate. You be the judge. Here we go, and this is apparently a paraglider that's going over a mountain ridge and captures what might be a Bigfoot. Let's see what you guys think. Here we go. Get ready to vote on this one because I'm curious what you guys think. Here it is. This is coming from Michael Alonzo's channel on Facebook. And its channel is Squatch Watch, it looks like. Or he's using Squatch Watch from some other channel. I don't know. But Michael Alonzo, this is his channel. He's hosting it on his Facebook. Let's take a look. I don't know. Yeah, we're not going to do the sound. So there he is. This is a series of images as he's clearing this ridge in this paraglider or whatever. And that is allegedly what he's seeing there. What do you guys think? It's just a matter of a few frames. It's not like smooth video, and I don't know why not smooth video, unless he just was moving that fast, and this is extraordinarily slowed down for the sake of showing us. But long arms, you're right. I did look at the proportions, and they don't seem incorrect for what I would expect a Sasquatch to look like. Those arms are extraordinarily long. Looks too perfect on my phone. Yeah, I mean, and again, it could be just this person was paragliding and showed them crossing a ridge, and then a little AI magic later, and they got a Bigfoot. I don't know. It's a toss up, but what do you guys think? Is this a Bigfoot? Or is this just some more fabrication crap and we're wasting our time here? What do you guys think? Benno's not buying it. It's walking towards a cliff. Well, it's another drop off. I don't think it's necessarily a cliff, but maybe. Looks like a whole lot of zeros. Nope. Thank you, Batman. Appreciate it, brother. Oops. It auto-scrolled on me. So, there you go. Barbara says not buying it. Or is that from your last vote, Barbara? I don't know what you're saying. No. Very cool if it's real, but zero. Okay. Kitty Cattywack's about halfway there. I'm thinking it's not impossible, but there's just not much context to work with here. The proportions seem right. It doesn't seem to be... It almost seems surprised by the guy. And I can't imagine it didn't know he was coming. Because, come on. These are an apex predator. I'm sure they're aware of what's going on around them. Most of the time, excuse me. But interesting stuff. I think it's most probably a fabrication. But it is pretty clever, pretty well done. It looks like they scaled it really well if it's a fabrication. Like it looks like it's where it should be. But it is kind of curious that it's just kind of heading for the drop-off. What's the game plan there? I don't know. How far does Sasquatch traverse mountain ridges? Or do they just come over and drop down on the next side? I don't know. But there you have it. It's kind of interesting. Looks like a Wookiee. Yeah, maybe. I don't see the bandolier along there for the Chewbacca bandolier, but yeah, interesting. Interesting all the same. So there we go. This has been What the Hell Is That? I hope you guys enjoyed it. And again, I apologize for my voice, but we're making it. I got about an hour and a half in so far. We're doing good. You're a little behind on the stream, just so you know. 2 times speed will catch up if you want. Okay. Oh, Jose's a little behind? Okay. Gotcha. Shoulders look a little small. Yeah, but, I will say this, that in Bigfoot reports, not all of them look like the Incredible Hulk. Some people do cite the ones that look like a really in shape, like basketball player build. And maybe that's more adolescent than it is true adult, because I think they get pretty big pretty quick. And so it's not without merit that people have described seeing some that are more thin and agile looking, and then some see the big tanky ones. And maybe that's just the big alpha males, kind of like silverbacks in the gorilla world. Like if you see a regular gorilla, like a female gorilla, she looks huge until a silverback comes up. And it's like, oh my God, no wonder why she's letting him do whatever he wants. He's enormous. And I think it could be very much the same for Bigfoot. I don't know though. Excuse me. I hope you're better. I do too, Taco. Thank you. This is the better version of me. Honestly, it is. AI is scary. Yeah, it is. It's disturbing. And again, I wish they would force watermarks in this stuff so that there wouldn't be any question anymore. That's if it's being passed off, it should at least have an indicator on the posting. This is AI. Because it's only going to get harder and harder to tell. And it's even in the last several months, it's gotten harder and harder to tell. So lots of guesswork, really. But I guess, if you default on everything's AI, you're probably going to be right 99% of the time. Unfortunately, there's that many people pushing out garbage, but there's still some gems out there. It's just tough that you don't know which to believe. All right, so that was What the Hell Is That?
The hell is that?
What in the hell is that? That's what we all are wondering. Now it's going to be time to go over to the Cryptid Corner. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Cryptid Corner. want a timeout, aggravated progressive? Please. I don't want that talk in here. All right. Let's see. All right. So we're going to go to the cryptid corner. Love. What the hell is that? Thank you, Maggie. I appreciate that. There's no experts. There's no experts. Absolutely. Shadow people are always seen moving really fast. Yeah, generally. Not exclusively, but most often. You're right, Jose. A lot of people report they're blindingly fast. Most people experience shadow people out of the corner of their eye, actually. You know, just a peripheral vision kind of thing. Like, and some people have equated that to the difference between rods and cones in our sight. That on the peripherals, we use more cones, which are more sensitive to light variations, darkness, lightness, and fluctuations. And straight-on vision is less sensitive to the light fluctuations, but more detailed. So, but usually we experience shadow people in our peripherals. I always see shadows moving out of the corner of my eye, but I look and they're gone. It's like, yeah, you're using a different optical mechanic in your eyeball. All right, I forgot it still shows on the feed, even if removed from chat. Oh, okay, so that was timed out. Okay, thank you, appreciate it. I appreciate it. I didn't know that. Okay, I just saw it come up in the chat here. I was like, if that happens again, just ban that person. There's no room for that in the chat here. Aggravated, if you talk like that, you're not going to be welcome on this channel anymore. So make the choice. All right, we are going to get to the Cryptid Corner, starting out with Sasquatch Chronicles blog, ladies and gentlemen. And this is obviously one of my favorite places to start because I love Wes's site. I love his show, but I love his site too. This is a great repository of where he posts a lot of listener emails that might not make it as a show just because of the sheer volume, but there's still fascinating reports on here. So this was based on a show that's, I think it's already up, yeah. But I didn't read it on the show, so I grabbed it. And this was going to be September 9th show. I'm not sure what I saw. A listener writes, yesterday while being a passenger in our side-by-side, I saw something in the woods between Grisdale and Satsop campground area. There's a dry riverbed area in there, and a few campers spotted down in the open rocks camping. As we're heading back towards where our trucks are parked, I saw something lanky, long-haired, and black, with large pieces of olive green moss stuck in the mats of its rib cage and stomach and left back hip area. It had a dog-like face and cat-like reflexes as it twisted in midair and sprung off a large old snag. It was about 50 feet in the woods. The animal pushed its front upper torso away from the snag and in the air twisted and then let go with its back legs, feet, landed on all fours. It was long, like 6 or 7 feet long, thin build. It appeared to have hands and long feet. I immediately said to Brandon in our headphones, what the heck is that? And I just saw something like a weird something. Last night I had a scary dream and woke up and I was afraid to go back to sleep because I didn't want to be back in the dream. But this morning it bothered me so much I needed to draw it. I looked up Google Images to understand things that looked like it, but nothing is coming up except a dog man. Some cryptid, scary animal thing. Looked like a long-haired black Irish wolfhound mixed with an all-black long-haired sloth bear. I've never seen a long-haired skinny black bear with cat-like reflexes, but yeah, no idea what it was. And I'm never camping there, that's for sure. It didn't have a neck like a dog, but the whole back half looked like a dire wolf, or at least a very large canine look to it. No idea. So hard to explain it, though. I'm chalking it up as a really long-haired, sickly black bear. I don't think that speaks to the reflexes, though. If it's sickly, it's going to be less reflexive. So, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe it was a dog man, just on the outside looking in. That's a cool story, though. And that's the first story for the Cryptid Corner. Let's get to another one. September 5th, it sounded like a man was very hurt, very badly, and screaming. A listener writes, I'm from Lafayette, Louisiana. I was hunting with my son Blake around December 2018. We were hunting in the Kitsachi National Forest, along with my son-in-law John and his two cousins. Me and my son decided to hunt on our own one evening off a logging road a couple of miles from our campsite. We traveled down the side of the hill to a stream and followed it a couple hundreds of yards and set up climbing stands. I set my son up first, and then I went about another 100 yards down the stream and set up. It was quiet most of the evening with no deer movement. It was just getting dusk, and a loud screaming was coming from the front of me, with no movement or sighting of any kind. It sounded like a man was hurt very badly and screaming. Well, I thought maybe somebody fell and was hurt, but it sounded like someone was getting murdered. It was way too loud for me not to see anything. The other strange thing was that there was nothing but woods in front of me for hundreds of miles. No roads or houses, just woods. The only access was from that small logging road, and no one else was on that road but us. I would have heard any vehicle driving along that road while we were in the stand. We're only about 50 yards from the road, but down a hill from the road. The screaming got louder at certain times, and it was very deep. It lasted for about 15 minutes. It lasted for about 15 minutes. It was starting to get dark, and to see what was getting spooked, so I decided to get my son and get out. I packed my stand very quickly and made it to my son. The first thing out of his mouth was, "Dad, what was that sound?" I told him I wasn't sure, but we needed to go. I could see the fear in his face. We left and made it back to camp. I told the others about what happened, but didn't get much of a response. We left the next morning, but my son-in-law cousins stayed and hunted another day. A couple of days later, my son-in-law said that his cousins heard loud screaming while at camp the next day. I've not been able to talk to them about it since. Yeah, those freaky sounds like that. Now, one thing is cool is Tex is doing like animal calls. And it's cool because you'd be surprised some of the animals and what they sound like. And it's pretty intense. But you know, there are crazy sounds that can be made by animals we all know, but we just never heard them call like that. But the whole screaming thing, I don't know. That's creepy. If it's not a big cat, I don't know what would do it. You know, like mountain lions can scream, but they usually sound like women screaming, I think. So, not sure where a bellowing man scream like he's being murdered would come from. But that's horrifying. All right, let's see. How are we doing? We got time. There's another one from Sasquatch Chronicles blog from September 3rd. Then it went wild, screaming, growling, and trees shaking. Sounds like some tantrum activity. A listener writes, Wes, I've only talked to one person since this happened in October of 1974. The location was East Texas, Boykin Springs area.
Probation?
I don't know. What does probation mean? I don't know. Where was it? It was raised 2 miles from the Aldridge Sawmill. Okay, I was raised 2 miles from the old Aldridge Sawmill he spoke about. I started hunting in this area when I was about 12. I'd go camping at the sawmill, often with friends on the weekends. Lots of time was uneventful, but every now and then it would have strange noises. we would have food stolen in the night, but in October of 74, it changed. We planned to camp out, so Friday I got an early start. I packed stuff to the mill and started putting up set lines in the river. Went hunting and got a few squirrels for supper, but all during the day I was uneasy. Something just wasn't right. But I just shook it off and got several squirrels and a few catfish. I went back to the mill, cleaned everything, and started cooking. So when my friends showed up, I planned on having dinner ready about 4 or 5. I started hearing sounds that I'd never heard before. About that time, one of my friends showed up and said it would be me and him, for the rest of the guys couldn't make it till the next day. So we fixed a plate and ate supper, and every now and then we hear this strange noise. As it got dark, we both got real uneasy, so we backed up it one of the buildings, in one of the old buildings, and built a fire by the opening. We had a boom box, so we turned it on and tried to ignore this feeling. It's about 10, and stuff went wild. Screaming, growling, trees shaking. We had 3 concert walls about 30 feet high, and just the one hole in front by the woods. Whatever was out there was tearing up everything we had. Our guns pointed at the opening and hoped whatever it was didn't try to come on us. It got so bad, finally, me and my friend took our shotguns and fired 4 shots into the woods, and it stopped. And a few minutes later, it started beating and banging on the concrete walls behind and on the sides, and I thought daylight was never going to come. As the night wore on, it started slacking off at about 4:30 or 5 in the morning. It stopped when daylight finally came. I could not make myself check. I just knew if I stuck my head out, it would be all over. Well, finally we loaded up some courage, eased out, and headed for the truck. That was my last camping trip at the mill that night. It was the most terrifying night of my life. The only time I talked about it was to my father, and all he kept saying was not to be repeating this to other people. He said he believed me, but others would not. I hunted the woods a lot of times after that, but never by myself, and always out of the woods before dark. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. That's the kind of creepy stuff. I mean, what is it? Ugh, that would be a horrible feeling. Absolutely horrendous. But there you go. They get to be very territorial. It's very strange. I guess why not though? I mean, that's where they live. That's where they forage for food and probably, you know, as I've thought in the past, I think they probably have a range, and it's probably a pretty broad range that they cover throughout the calendar years. But this might have been the time they were in that area for whatever reason, and the fact that these people were hunting there might have screwed up their foraging plans. So, you know, it's hard to understand, but this is how they live. They don't have an option of drive-thrus or supermarkets to make ends meet in case they couldn't have time to whip up dinner. It's either, survive or not. So I guess being territorial kind of makes sense. Let's go to September 2nd, encounter in Yelm, Washington. A listener writes, my experience takes place in Yelm, Washington, where I currently live at the base of the Bald Hills near Lawrence Lake. I'm 41 now, but my first encounter happened when I was just 14. At the time, my family lived in a 3,200 square foot rambler on 10 acres of land. Our home sat in the middle of the property with a long paved driveway. My parents occasionally went to the casino in the evenings, and I'd stay home with my identical twin brother, who was severely handicapped. He couldn't walk or talk, but he was very easy to care for, especially at night, since we'd just go to sleep. One particular night, I stayed up late watching TV in the living room, which was on one end of our long, narrow house. The back of the house bordered several acres of wetlands. Around midnight, I started getting tired and decided to just turn the TV off, thinking it was keeping me awake. I just laid down on the couch and within 5 minutes began to hear noise near the back door by the hot tub room. It sounded like someone or something was messing with the door handle. A few seconds later, the door suddenly slammed open and hit the wall. I wasn't a tough kid, so I pulled the blankets over my head in fear. We had hardwood floors, and I clearly heard heavy footsteps coming towards me. Oh, God, that's horrifying. I was frozen. The steps grew louder and quicker until whatever it was stood right over me. I could hear it breathing, deep, heavy breaths. And then came the most terrifying sound I've ever heard in my life. It was like a howl, a deep scream, and a growl all rolled into one. And it lasted for about 10 seconds. I didn't move. I barely breathed. Every muscle in my body was locked in fear. After a minute or two, it went completely silent. But I never heard it leave. Oh, God, that's horrifying. I stayed frozen for about 30 more minutes before I finally worked up the nerve to get up. I ran to the kitchen, flipped on the light, and grabbed a butcher's knife. Not that it would help much, but it made me feel a little safer. Then I remembered my brother and realized I'd have to go down the hallway toward the hot tub room to check on him. As I started in that direction, headlights flashed through the windows. My parents were home. I told them everything. My dad seemed shaken, almost like he understood there are unexplained things in this world. My mom, on the other hand, brushed it off and suggested it was just a cougar. Yeah, but if it's a cougar in your house, that's not any better. It's probably worse. Later that day, my dad shared a story about seeing strange lights on the property, and that moment stuck with me. Years passed. I moved out at 18, met my now wife, and we had 3 kids. After the housing market shifted, we sold our home and bought the house I grew up in from my mom, who was getting older and found the upkeep just too much. My dad had already passed by then. One morning, my oldest son, who was about 8 at the time, went out to feed the dog and came running back into the house in tears. He said he'd heard a screaming sound coming from the woods. I wasn't at home, but my wife was able to calm him down. She didn't think much of it. I spent years trying to find a recording that matches the sound I heard. I've listened to countless YouTube clips, but none really comes close. Until one day, I played a video titled "Strange Sound While Mushroom Hunting" in the kitchen. As soon as it started, my son stopped in his tracks. His face went pale, and he looked at me. It wasn't an exact match, but it was close enough that we both felt it in our bones. I believe it's still here. Our Great Pyrenees seems to keep it at bay, but I still feel its presence from time to time. I don't know about you, but I'm all for live and let live, and granted, if it wanted him dead, he would have been dead when it broke into the house. But still, how do you ever get comfortable knowing that that's something that can just peel your house open and come in at will? I think that's horrifying. Yikes. Craziness. All of it's crazy. You can go to the forest where people don't go, and the animal trails are cut deep into the ground. Yeah, Chucky, you got a lot of that up in BC, don't you? That's very crazy. I don't know, especially, being kids. It's a different world. I mean, now people wouldn't just leave their kids probably home for a whole evening by themselves. But still. I grew up in the 70s. I spent a lot of time at home alone when I probably wasn't responsible enough to do it. But I made it. I'm still here. Still kicking, so I guess it wasn't all bad. I don't know. What do you guys think? If you had these screams coming from your backyard. Let's say you live next to the forest. How would you feel about it? What would you do? I don't know what I would do. I'd probably be doing a lot of praying, though. I don't think they go out of their way to hurt us, but I think at the same time they always could, and it wouldn't be even a struggle. It's not like we could really put up a fight if they decided they didn't want us around, you know? And then I think about the First Nations horror stories about when people did get hauled away from their villages, never to be seen again. I don't know. Again, I love to think that they're these wonderful forest giants that are guardians of the wild places and stuff. But I can't forget those other stories. So I'm always cautiously optimistic, I guess, about the nature of Sasquatch. I love the idea they're peaceful. But could you bet your life on that? I couldn't. No. All right. Well, in light of my voice sounding like garbage and the fact that there's literally only a few minutes left anyway, I think this is where I'm going to close it up. I hope you guys were able to make it through my growling gravel voice for tonight. I apologize that I sound like garbage. This will be the last live show again for another week, unless I just can't make the trip. Then I'll come back on as normal. But unless I don't continue healing, if I don't, then I'll be here. But I'm going to be at the Crossing Realms conference this next week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then if we can meet, that'd be cool. So anyway, that's about all I got for you tonight. The forest is my backyard on all sides of us, actually. I just stay in the house, lock the doors, and wait for them to settle down and go away. If they're coming in, they're coming in regardless. Good point. Good point, BJ Lapeer. Pushing through, Brent. Yeah. Thanks, Rachel. I am getting well. Again, this is the improved version. You wouldn't have believed the other version. I don't think I could have spoken even for 5 minutes before. I'd have been huffing and puffing. My lungs were just full. So this is definitely the improved version. But this is what I got for you tonight. I've been missing doing the live shows too last night, so I'm glad I was able to push through and do one tonight, because I do love doing these shows with you guys. And it is hard on me when I can't. I just feel I feel like, one, I miss doing it personally, but I also don't ever want to let you guys down. So when I can't make the shows, I feel like I'm letting you down. So I will always push through as much as I can, if it's possible for me to do it. So if I'm not here, just know it's because I literally couldn't be here. So, but again, I'm looking to go into the Crossing Realms. By the way, I was going to stream from Phenomicon for you guys, but they had done something to the router to turn off streaming. I could get the internet on my phone just fine, browse, whatever, but as soon as I tried to stream, their routers kept kicking me off. And there wasn't enough of my own internet signal there to stream on my own accord. So I apologize. That was my plan. It didn't work out that way, but I did upload a couple videos. So I do apologize I couldn't live stream with you guys. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So until, I guess, a week from Wednesday. But keep an eye out, because if I can stream in Missouri, I will. So if you're not already subscribed, please get subscribed. Please ring the bell and stay tuned for any potential streams. I don't know when they're going to happen. I don't know if they're going to happen, but if it's possible, I will stream to you guys and bring you there, okay? So I guess that's going to about do it for me tonight. The traditional closing. Again, now more than ever, just remember, I love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice. Take care of each other, help each other out. Find the magic in every day, and remember to laugh as much as you can. And I'll be back as soon as I can be. Good night, everybody.